Go.
The first thing you want to do is hang your thermometer in a shady spot nearby, and then you're going to conduct the rest of your test. So just leave that there and we're going to check it at the end. Okay. Put that on the blooper roll. So in your guide, you have a guidebook, and it's going to talk you through all the things that I'm going to go through today. And I suggest that you create your own order to do your test. I've suggested an order in that. I highly recommend that you conduct these tests with a friend. So, the first thing we're going to get out is our conductivity meter. I'm going to open it up. The top button is the power button. You're going to press it, and then you're going to get down in the water. And what this is going to tell you is the conductivity and the water temperature. Now you're going to keep it in the water until the temperature regulates. Any guesses on how it is here today with all the snow? My filmer?
5 degrees.
2.4 degrees.
Oh.
Okay, so it is sort of regulated. It doesn't take very long if it's not too hot out, but if your conductivity's gotten hot, it might take a little bit longer. So just wait till it regulates. When you think it's done, you're going to press the middle button. And what that's going to do is it's going to hold the value so that you can take it up and read it. Sometimes you're going to be leaning over, press the middle button, and then pull it out. And we can see our reading is 106, and our temperature is 2.1. So 106 for conductivity is very good. What we have in your pack is Notepad. We encourage you to use the app. We also give you a Notepad so that if you're not comfortable bringing your phone out, my phone is filming this right now, so I can't record it on the app. So I'm just going to put the date and time, the body of water, and this is the stream for Lake McGlashan. It's one of my testing locations. I'm going to note what the weather is. It is sunny today. The conductivity we said was 106, and the water temperature is 2.1. Now I'm doing this today because some of you guys are getting done testing, but it's not quite testing season here. We don't have ice off yet. I'm going to put that away. The next thing I'm going to do is my Secchi disc. Now, the Secchi disc is marked 1/2 meter in black, 1 meter in red. What you do, first thing first, sunglasses off, okay? If it is a very bright day, you're gonna try and do this on the side of the boat that doesn't have any glare on the water. Now I'm gonna do it on this side. I do have glare on the water, but I can't get over there, it's frozen. So this is gonna be just for demonstration purposes. You wanna make sure you're in the exact same spot for things like depth. So this wharf is anchored, so this will always be for the same spot. So I lower it into the water, and if you're doing Secchi depth, which is water clarity, it's gonna be when you can't see it anymore. What you're gonna do is you're gonna look down. When you can't see it anymore, you're gonna put your finger on the rope, and then you're gonna start raising it until you can see it. And you're gonna get 2 marks, and then you're gonna have the mark in the middle, okay? So in this case, it touches the bottom. As soon as the rope goes slack, I can still see the Secchi disc. So it's right at about 0.55 meters. Now, if you are uncomfortable with estimating, there's a few tips that I like to give people. To find the halfway point, fold your rope in half and then again. I sometimes bring a measuring tape with me. So in this case, we're gonna record it as depth. You're gonna see on your form, there's Secchi depth, that's for water clarity, and depth is for when you can see the bottom. So 0.55 meters. The next thing we're gonna get started on, you should have a sample cup in your pack. We're gonna take a sample in a minute. We're gonna get started on our dissolved oxygen test, and that's this one here. So you're gonna open it up, and you have to do this in a very timely manner. As soon as you take the sample, it's being exposed to the air, and as soon as it gets exposed to the air, it's getting oxygenated, so you're gonna get a bad reading. So as soon as you bring it out of the water, you're gonna take your test. So what I want you to do is get your ampule, as they're called, out. Ta-da, like that. Oh, always turn your conductivity meter off. You don't want to waste the batteries. And don't put this right in the water. It's pretty waterproof and it does float, but you know, you want to keep it nice.
From your experience?
From experience. From experience of ruining a few. Okay. So I got my thing. We don't want to take the surface water. We want to go below the surface. And I got my guy ready. And you're going to watch the force I'm going to use to break it. There's little notches around the outside. And there's a little tip that's got like a breaking point here. Okay? So I'm going to go quick. Break. It's going to fill up. And then immediately I'm going to turn it upside down 2 times. And then hold it upright. Dump that out. Oh, actually, don't dump that out. Oh, I got it. Okay. Don't dump it out. Dump it out carefully because you want to keep the little tip. You don't want to get the little bit of the glass that broke off in there. Okay. So we're setting our timer. My assistant is setting her timer. We're gonna wait 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna leave this here, and while that's going, I'm gonna take a sample to do my test strips. Again, sunglasses off for this. You're doing a color comparison, and you really want to use your best vision for it. Okay. So get a test strip out. If you've used your cup before, away from where you're taking your sample, rinse it 3 times. Okay, the water is so cold. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Okay, again, you're gonna take it from below the surface, right? So dunk it down, take it up. You know, you can just dump a bit out if you want. Okay, we're gonna submerge it completely. 2 seconds. Compare it now.
Okay.
Hi. You started? Okay. We're going to compare it immediately. So you're going to line it up from the bottom. You're going to see one item crossed out. We're not going to use the bottom pad, but the 3 next ones we use. So we use hardness. So you can see the water here is about halfway between 0 and 100. So we're going to mark that down as 50. pH is between 6.8 and 7.2, so we're going to mark that as 7. We got our helpers here. And alkalinity is around 40. So you're going to have those 3 values, and you're going to ignore the top 2. These are test strips made for a pool. They're the best ones that we can get for our money, and they're the most accurate, but obviously there's some things that pool people need that we don't need. Okay, our time's up for our dissolved oxygen.
Yep. I was going to say it was because...
Yeah. So, because I've been talking, but make sure you have a timer, so you get 2 minutes, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put it between the 2 values, and I'm going to keep moving it up. Sunglasses off. That's sort of between, okay, keep moving it, sort of between 8 and 10. So I'm going to mark it down as 9. Okay? Keep this in your bag. You have got some, sorry, let's see. You should have some whirly bags. I take one of the ones that's got the clear bit bigger. I'm going to take this off. Actually, I'm going to put it right in the bag. This is my garbage bag, okay? So I'm going to put any garbage that I produce in there. You don't want to be littering, and you want to make sure that that little piece of glass is in there as well. There we go. Okay, and then make sure as soon as possible your dissolved oxygen should be not exposed to sunlight. It's a colored base thing, and we don't want to change those values. So let's put that back in. Oh, that's a bit tricky. There you go. I'm going to put that back. The last part is taking notes on weather in the past 24 hours. It's really important if you're getting an unusual reading to know if there's been a weather event. For example, here we get sediment when we get rain, and that can affect things like conductivity, and it's nice to make those sort of correlations. Is it windy? Has there been any rain? And we're going to say, has there been any rain? No. No rain. And what do you see? What do you smell? And do you see any other wildlife? Now, we saw a robin near here today, so I think that's a really cool thing to note. That means first signs of spring, right? And it's really great if this is a new location that you take some photos and that we can see it over time. Okay, so that's going to be the training video for now. We're going to make a new one later in the season in a boat, but for now that should get you started. Are you going to monitor?
Go, go.
All right, oh my goodness.
Kat forgot something important.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time, and it happened to me a few times that I've had to go back to my test location. My thermometer's still hanging in my tree over here. Let's find out what the air temperature is today. I didn't fall in.
I know. It's because I've already fallen in.
So air temperature should be in the shade, nowhere too windy, and for at least 5 minutes. It is 8 degrees.
Ooh.